Why is it so hard for you to be happy with your life? As someone who has really struggled with this in the past, and I have overcame focusing only on happiness to allow me to feel and feel great about my life, this is a lesson I would like to pass on to you today. So by the end of this, you'll understand 3 points, each of them being very crucial. With the first one being a big mindset shift for you, most likely. The second one are some actionable steps you can take with your mindset and your expectations. And the third one is something that may be hard hitting, but is important to hear. With that being said, my name is Chris Richardson. I'm a coach here at Life on Your Terms, and I make these videos to help pass on some of the lessons I've learned and some of the knowledge to help you work through these things faster than I ever did. I apologize for the poor lighting. My face cam just went out as I tried to open that, but that's besides the point. With that being said, let's jump right in. The first reason that you cannot be happy with your life is because you're only chasing happiness. Now you might be like, Chris, what do you mean by that? I'm only chasing happiness. I mean that you are only focusing on being happy in your life. You're like, I am not happy where I'm at and I want happiness, but that puts you at a deficit. My question to you is, why can't you be happy right now? You may not have all the things you want, and you may not be in the situation you want to be in, but why in the journey can you not be happy with what you are going through and what you are doing? On top of only being happy, you're trying to push down all other emotions, labeling them as negative, which does a disservice to yourself. Because when you focus on only happiness, you say, okay, I only want to be happy. But when you do that, you say that sadness, anger, fear, stress are all wrong or do not belong in your life. Personally, I just lost my childhood pet 2 days ago, had to put him down. It was a very hard experience. Over the last few days, I felt a lot of emotions that I usually don't feel, and I felt a lot of them. But that's not a bad thing. It just shows how much I cared about him. And if you can make that mindset shift, to not see sadness, to not see anger as a bad emotion, that'll help you work through them quicker, number one, but it'll help you be okay with them and be happy with the situation you are in. Because happiness doesn't mean that you feel joy all the time. I think happiness means a sense of contentment in your life and in your journey, no matter what's going on. And so with that, you have to not focus on pushing all those emotions away that aren't joy and that aren't happiness, because it's okay to feel those other emotions. Now, on top of only chasing happiness, what you can do to kind of override this, to start to focus on the moment. I'll refer back to my example of losing my childhood pet. What I really did is I really just tried to focus on the moment at hand. How can I make him the most comfortable as possible in his final moments? How can I spend this time and cherish this moment? And I was extremely happy after the experience because I did those things, if that makes sense. It was very sad, but I felt a sense of happiness because he was out of pain, but I was still with him throughout it all. And so focusing on the moment has been very powerful for me when focusing on being happy within my life. Now, on top of focusing on the moment, you want to focus on the work, because I truly believe humans are meant to work. And I've noticed with myself, after a long, hard day of working, lifting weights, and then some relaxation at the end with my partner or doing the things I enjoy, those are the best days. So it indicates to me that we are meant to work based upon how I felt in the past, because I feel my worst when I don't do anything that I don't want to do and I'm a slug all day. So focusing on the work can help you feel more of that feeling of contentment and happiness. So how can you improve the quality and the quantity of your work can be helpful to not focus on happiness. And then also, I'm going to tie it back again to feeling those emotions. I would encourage you to really find a way to feel the emotions you feel, because it'll help you move quicker through them and also really experience them and deliver the attention that they need. Second piece that is a kind of a mindset shift that you may need to have is that you have unrealistic expectations to your situation. Again, I could personally very well relate to this because I thought I'd be much further along in my coaching journey, which then put me at a deficit because my expected outcome was here and where I was here, which created a disconnect. I became very frustrated about it, but what I had to do to get over that and to understand that I fall in love with the journey. The work is the goal. Your unrealistic expectations may come from social media. You see all these people doing all these things, and you're like, why don't I have that? Well, I would say that some of it is unrealistic from social media. And the second piece is you don't see the 10 years before they worked very hard to get that lifestyle with some of them. So you have to understand that with the social media piece. On top of that, another unrealistic expectation is perfectionism. Again, this is something I've struggled with. It relates to my coaching, where I thought I'd be here, but I'm here. And with perfectionism, I had to unwind so much negative thinking about how I need to be perfect, that everything needs to be 100% perfect. Instead, I had to go, okay, what did I do right in this situation? So if you're struggling with perfectionism, constantly you're asking yourself what you did wrong and you're telling yourself what you did wrong. To undo those perfectionism things, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing right? And then when you can start to tear away what are you doing wrong only and start to build up what you're doing right, then you can add in what am I doing wrong still and do those check-ins on both sides. So that's how you overcome perfectionism. Now, the last piece of expectations and the unrealistic expectations you may have is the cultural and societal pressures, whether that's from your parents, whether it's from the culture you are a part of, whether it's part of the society you're a part of. In the West, in America, we have a lot of pressures that we should be a certain type of way. And I'm sure that's a universal concept among a lot of areas where they have these expectations, whatever they may be, that you should be a certain way. And dealing with those could be tough. And what I would encourage you to do is lean into your own personal values that you know that allow you to enjoy the life at its fullest and stay to your true north. That can help you. So that's having unrealistic expectations and how that can contribute to the unhappiness of your life. The third piece and the final piece, like I said, may be a little bit hard hitting, but I think it's important for you to hear because I care about you guys. And I want you guys to understand that everything I say in these videos is only trying to help. So with that being said, the third piece, why you may not be happy with your life, is because you are not pursuing what you wanted. You gave up on your dream. And that's okay, because it's not too late. You may realize that you're in a job you don't love. You're living a life that is what you call you settled. You settled on something that you did not want to do, but it was easier in the moment 10, 20, 30 years ago. But it's okay. You can still change that. You can still climb back. So the thing is you may have quit. You may have quit on your dream. And I can relate to that as well. I almost quit doing my coaching dream because I was going through a period of time where I was like, is this going to work? And it still hasn't worked yet. But I'm still driving towards it. I'm not going to quit on it. And so what I would encourage you to do is ask yourself 20 years ago, what would you have done? Would you be in this situation? That may lead you down a path of realizing I'm unhappy because I didn't choose what I wanted to do. I listened to my dad who wanted me to do this, but I didn't want to do that. I looked at this social media influencer and he told me to do this, but I don't want to do that. So what did you do that you did not want to? Now, I'm not saying to get where you want to go, you have to do a lot of things you don't want to do. I'm just saying that you, instead of starting your own business, you went in the corporate route. Does that make sense? You had these dreams, these aspirations that would be very hard to achieve, but you took the easier route. And that may be a possibility, but it's okay because you can climb back. And with that, I'd encourage you to take the balance wheel in the description below because that's going to be the first step, is to stabilize. It's going to be to figure out where you're at. What did you give up on? And the balance wheel is going to do a great job of looking at your professional, your relationships, your resources, and your health, helping you identify what you maybe gave up on in those areas, and then you can start climbing back. If you like this video, I'd encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button because it helps the channel a lot. Hopefully this was helpful, guys. I'll see you in the next one.